What a week. Think back to where you were last week at this time and just how much things have changed, how much your life has changed over the course of just 7 days. What is it that the Lord has to say to us? A lot of things. But let's start with something here from the week, which leads into our readings. So on the 17th of March, this past Tuesday, we celebrated an interesting day in history because it was on March 17th in 1865 that the priest, Father Bernard Petitjean, was in the cathedral in Nagasaki, Japan, when he was approached by some people claiming that they were hidden Christians. So these are people who had been part of a community that held on to the faith in hiding in Japan. Because, y'all may know the story, back in the 1600s, the Japanese government changed, became very antithetical to Europe and to Christianity by extension. As a result, there was a fierce persecution of all priests, religious, and even everyone claiming to be a Christian. They tried to stamp everything out. So the priests that could see what was coming back in the 1600s, and there were Jesuits, Dominicans, Franciscans, they realized we would have to prepare the people for the life that they would have to live once all the priests were gone. And so they started gathering them together and saying, you can't have books because people might find those and persecute you for them. You have to memorize everything. And they taught people to memorize parts of the Bible, to memorize parts of the rites that they would need in order to baptize their young. They taught them the different prayers that they would have to say. And they said, go and practice these things, and one day we will return. And when we do return, you will know that you should ask, do you come from Rome? Are your priests married or unmarried? Does your God have a mother? So for 250 years, the people in these hidden communities in Japan kept the faith, handing it down in small groups, person to person, waiting for that day when Catholicism would return. And eventually that day came. We are entering into a time where our normal way of proceeding is disrupted. That doesn't mean that God is no longer active. Therefore, neither should we resign ourselves to inactivity. We should commend ourselves to God and ask God, how do we respond to the challenges of this day? Because each day has its own. In the gospel, the blind man is sent to the pool of Siloam, which is translated as sent. By coming to know Jesus Christ, he was sent into a mission in this world. You, as missionaries, as staff members, as alumni, as disciples, you have all received this mission. You have all been sent into lifelong mission. And with Jesus at our side, we will do that, no matter what the circumstances. So may God bless you and give you hope and strength and great resilience during these days. Do not be afraid. The Lord is near.